She became family, not doctor. You never called her Dr. Mary, never. It was Mary.
How long were you a patient there?
Probably about 8 to 10. She walked out the door and said, "Hi, I'm Mary, come on in."
And she just grabbed my hand, but it was not just a handshake. The warmth you felt through her was unreal. It was never about the money with her. It was about making people better.
Hey, honey, it's Mom. Just arrived to visit with Grammy for a little bit. Hope you're all having a wonderful, happy day together. Love you. Bye.
I wasn't concerned at all about Mary. At about 5:30 that morning, I kind of groggily come out of sleep and I'm hearing this banging downstairs on the front door. It's like, what's going on? It was a state police and they said, the hospital asked us to come here. They've been trying to get in touch with you all night. Mary had a rough time in the night and you need to come down here now. Paul was sitting there bawling. Tammy's just shaking all over, and Ab's kind of huddled down in the corner over there on the other side. We're just crying. The doctor comes out. Finally, she says, "We've been working on her half an hour. We're not getting any response. Can we just call it now? Do we have your permission to tell somebody to pull the plug on 40 years you love the most in your life? Yeah, okay, you got my permission to pull the plug."
This is Dr. Clark. I have an answer, but I wanted to discuss some things with you and let you know what I found.
We start working on Adam immediately. And the next morning we decide we're gonna call Adam Yoder and tell him I need you to come to the office for an interview. He said, let him look. If you're not involved, let him look. And sure enough, under there we find the cardboard wrapper, the container, and the receipt. He's just like, oh my God. There is so much information that we are learning at a rapid pace. We know the timetable puts us at the office. We learned that there's female DNA under the stamp of one of the envelopes of the anonymous letter. Well, maybe Katie Conley stamping the envelope and came from the office. So I call her up and say, hey, is there any chance you can come up and provide us a DNA sample? And I came out and I asked her, did you write us a letter back in November? I explained to her that if you wrote us that letter, you're our only witness. We need to know that. And she finally said that she had written us that letter. You wrote us the letter because you were scared, correct? You were scared to let it know that you knew all this information, but yet you wanted us to know. right?
Yeah, like something snapped. Maybe almost 50 minutes.
See, the trouble with the snowball is once it starts down the hill and gets bigger and bigger, the lies have to keep getting bigger and bigger. Eventually, they can't keep up with the snowball. I'm just hitting the tips of the iceberg right now. We determined a long time ago that whoever purchased this stuff was obviously responsible for Mary's death. Who purchases the prepaid cards?
I don't know.
If you purchased them, you're involved in this. You lied to me earlier when you said you don't know how those were scanned. I know for a fact that you were in possession of your phone when they were scanned.
Yes.
There's two of us in this room, and we both know who purchased this culture scene, Katie.
The backup was the key. There's certain things in your phone that keep track of things. Like, for example, when you delete a picture, a thumbnail stays in your phone.
How do you know, first of all, that she was the one that was researching the poison, since Adam had total control of all of her electronic equipment anytime he wanted it?
Frank keeps saying that Adam had access to her phone. Well, there's absolutely no proof of that. All the evidence came back to 3 locations: her phone, her workstation, and her home.
Grabbed my right wrist and said, "You'd snap my wrist and break every one of my fingers. I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kill you, Katie."
One of the big things that Frank opened the door for was this alleged rape. When she accused him, she sent him pictures of these alleged bruises. The pictures were from a time before the alleged rape even took place. The pictures weren't real. So why do you go through all this elaborate scheme? There's nothing worse than living with the fact that your actions cause somebody else's death, especially someone you love. So what's the best way to punish somebody? Kill their loved one.
You find the defendant, Caitlin A. Conley, guilty to the lesser included offense of manslaughter in the first degree.
I hate the defendant with every bone in my body and every drop of blood in my veins. I hate Caitlin Ann Conley because Caitlin Ann Conley murdered my mother. I hate myself infinitely more. I introduced her to my family. I got her a job with my parents. And if I hadn't done those things, my mother would still be alive. And I live with that pain and the torture of that truth. I will carry that with me for the rest of my life.